Hey everybody, hey! Energy drink of choice today is a new one. We haven't featured her on the channel yet. We've got an Accelerator and Cherry Ice Pop. Shout out to Accelerator because they actually sent me these, which is crazy, so thank you. Spotify Wrapped just came out, and it really got me thinking, what if there was like a Wrapped or some kind of recap of what went down in my vinyl collection this year? I've seen a bunch of people on TikTok doing this, so shout out and credit to all of them. This is not my idea. I'm just taking some inspiration. So today we're going to be going through a list of some stats I put together of how my vinyl collection has evolved this year. I feel like I worded that entire intro wrong, so I'm really sorry about that. The other day I reacted to my Spotify Wrapped, if you want to go check that out. I think this is my third year of collecting vinyl, so keep that in mind. My collection is not huge, but it definitely isn't small by any means. Let's start with a yearly overview. The total amount of vinyl that I collected this year was 119, which is wild considering that last year I only collected 31. Mind you, that number is also huge, but like to more than double that number in a year, I also think I have about 14 pre-orders on the way, but I included that in that total number. I'm calculating based on everything I bought this year, including pre-orders that I may have not gotten already, but I will have by the end of the year. They're just not currently in my collection. My most collected artists this year. My third most collected is various artists, so that would be like soundtracks and stuff. I collected 5 of those. My second most collected is Sabrina Carpenter. I collected 11 of hers this year. That's mainly to do with the fact that she released an album this year, so I obviously had to pick up a few copies of that. And then she also pressed all of her old albums on vinyl for the first time, and I got the Urban Outfitters exclusive of 2 of those. But my most collected artist this year, I mean, it has to go to Miss Ariana Grande. I collected 18 records from her this year, which, you know, does make sense considering one of my goals for my collection this year was to continue trying to variant collect for her and get every record she's ever pressed. And she also released an album this year with a ton of variants, so it was a big year for Miss Ariana in my collection. Coincidentally, she was also my top artist on Spotify this year, which is no shock to me. Okay, now let's get into a teeny bit of a monthly breakdown. I have the 3 months that I collected the most records. At number 3, we have both March and May tied with 12 records each month. In second place, we have November with 15 records. I think I was just going crazy buying records last month. I don't think there's any reason. I mean, we did have RSD Black Friday, but I only picked up like 3 records. So I don't know what I was doing last month to make me buy so many records. And then my number 1 most collected month was October with 16 records. My birthday was in October, and since I collect records, I get a lot of records as gifts, which I love. It's one of my favorite things. And then also let myself go a little crazy shopping for records on my actual birthday because I told myself I deserved it. And maybe I did. I also calculated the total amount I spent on all of my records this year, and while I do try to be as transparent as possible on here about how much I spend on records, that number actually made me sick to my stomach, and I am not going to tell you because I can't even fathom. Also, by the way, if you're curious on how I'm calculating any of these things, I literally made a spreadsheet of my entire record collection. Okay, the least amount I spent on one vinyl this year was $5, and that would be Harry Styles' Fine Line, the Target black and white splatter. This pressing is so gorgeous, and I know you're probably sitting there thinking, how the f did you get your hands on this for $5? My friend was selling it, and she gave me a good price. And then the most I spent on a single record this year, if you've been following me for a while, you might already know where this is going. Also Harry Styles. That would be Harry Styles' self-titled, the pink translucent pressing. This is my baby. Still not over the fact that I own this. And I paid a whopping, I don't even know the exact number, like $490 on this thing, which if you know the lore behind this pressing, that's actually a pretty good deal, which is insane. I know I'm crazy for spending that much on a record, but you gotta do what you gotta do, eh? You gotta do what you gotta do. This was my big treat to myself this year, trying to make up excuses like, I just bought it. I also have an entire video unboxing that because that was just, it needed its own video. Okay, now let's get into a bit of a pressing breakdown. So 74% of what I collected this year were 12-inch LPs. I collected 88 of them, and the remaining 26% goes to 7-inch singles, to which I collected 31. Lots of 7 inches this year, which was another goal of mine. I wanted to expand my little 7-inch collection. Now let's talk about the different types of pressings and their percentages. 26.9% of what I collected were transparent records. So that would include, again, the pink translucent pressing. Also another example, this Chapel Roan Coke Bottle Clear glitter pressing, which is stunning. It's the Urban Outfitters exclusive. I am shocked that the transparent translucent records were the most I collected this year, but it makes sense because a lot of records get pressed on translucent pressings for some reason. No. And then right behind the transparent records, we have opaque pressings, which made up 25.2% of what I collected. What's an example of an opaque pressing that I got? I'm like actually losing my mind right now. Oh, here we go. Damn, why did that take me so long? An example of that would be the Killers. This is the 20th anniversary pressing from Target, and it's on this bone white opaque pressing. But I think we all know what an opaque pressing is. Basically, it's solid. It's not see-through like the transparent ones. Next up, we have splatter and also marble, which I included into one category, and that made up 20.2%. Right off the bat, I'm thinking of Short and Sweet by Sabrina. This pressing is gorgeous. It's a light blue marble. And then Standard Black made up 16% of my collection. Why did I get that with Standard Black? I guess I got some soundtracks that were Standard Black. I try to not buy Standard Black if there are options for a pretty colored pressing, because I like the colors, okay? I like the pretty colors, and all the people in my comments who are gonna tell me like, oh, but Standard Black is better. I know the sound quality is better. I don't really care that much. I like the pretty colors. It makes collecting more fun for me. Picture discs, my favorite type of pressing, made up only 10.1%. And then my most collected color, believe it or not, in first place we have black, and then right behind that we have red, which I probably could have told you considering that literally all of Ariana's Eternal Sunshine pressings were red. So considering I have 3 of these, and that's just from her. Okay, now let's move into some random categories I have. My most spun record, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 of these because I could not pick a top one. First up, which is actually the first record I bought this year, we have Speak for Yourself by Imogen Heap. This is the music on vinyl variant. Damn. Limited to 2,000 copies, and it's on this yellow translucent. I played this one so much this year. It's just the perfect album to throw on to have in the background. It's a perfect album. Starting off the year incredibly well by buying that one first. Okay, and then just a classic that I'm constantly spinning all the time. We have Disappear Here by Bad Sons, one of my favorite bands ever. I'm constantly listening to Bad Sons. If I want to listen to music but I don't really know what I'm in the mood for, 10 out of 10 times I'm going to put on Bad Sons. It's just easy listening music. This is the Vagrant 25th anniversary edition on the blue, opaque blue color. And then obviously I have to mention my girls again. Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet. Like I said, this is blue marbled pressing. I mean, this was on repeat this year. It's so good. Another record that I listened to a lot this year, potentially tied with Short and Sweet on how much I listen to it. We have Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. Like I said, all of these pressings are red translucent. This album was incredible. She was my top artist this year, so I guess it makes sense that I spun this one a ton this year. Oh my god, it was so good. When this came out, I literally ran to Target and bought the Target edition and then played it for like 3 days straight. I couldn't listen to anything else except for this. The next record I spun like the most this year, Del Watergap's self-titled album. This is the light blue translucent pressing. Ugh, I listened to this shit so much. I'm shocked I'm not tired of listening to it. I like fully dived into Del Watergap this year. I mean, I loved this album when it came out, but I really ran through it this year because I saw him live and I was like, I gotta prepare, and I literally could not get myself to stop listening to this. It stayed on my turntable for so long. Okay, and then last up for my most spun records of the year, we have this one. We have Hurting by Friendly Fires. This is a 12-inch single. This is one of my all-time favorite songs. Not necessarily this version, but this has been sitting on my Discogs wish list for so long just because I knew that since the song was pressed as a single, I needed to have it because I don't necessarily listen to the rest of this album. And I finally bit the bullet and bought it this year, and it was like pretty affordable. So I'm glad I did that. I think I paid like $12 for it, I want to say, if I remember correctly. I love this song so much. Even though it is just a single, I listen to this shit all the time. Specifically, this is the Hurting by Friendly Fire's C2 Runway edit. My favorite version of this song though is the 10 Snake remix. That shit goes so hard. Now let's get into the biggest ISOs I was able to get this year. These are like maybe top 4 of my biggest ISOs, so the fact that I got them all this year, I was on something. I was What was I doing? I don't know. Number one, I mean, obviously, Harry Styles self-titled the pink translucent pressing. I will never shut up about the fact that I own this. Not having this specific variant for so long was not only a personality trait of mine, but it was a building block of this channel. So the fact that I now have this is like, we're in a new era, guys. Okay, this is the most recent ISO I was able to get. That is Heartbreaker by Bad Sons. This is the 7-inch single on the red heart-shaped vinyl. It's so cute. I've been wanting this thing for so long, and I was able to get it for a very decent price. This might be the most impulsive. No, I mean, the Harry Styles one was impulsive, but this was like really impulsive. But I am glad I have it. This thing is so special to me. Okay, then we have Metaphysical by the Technicolors. I've been keeping my eye on that damn Discogs page for this for years, waiting for someone to be selling it. I had to snatch this up as soon as I saw it for sale because I had never seen it for sale before, and it was kind of expensive, but I don't regret it. Again, this is one I listen to constantly. This is on an opaque cherry red pressing. And then last up, another one of my ISOs that I was able to get is Sweetener by Ariana Grande. This is the peach. It's like peach with some pink marbled in there. It's stunning. I am very grateful that I got like a pretty pressing of this one because some of them look really ugly. I either got this in April or May when it restocked randomly on her website, which it also did like last week. It restocked. She restocked 3 of the 2019 pressings from her website. The Thank You Next Split, the Sweetener Peach, and then the Dangerous Woman Swirl pressing. Thankfully now I have all 3. I have the trifecta and I love this. I'm so glad that I didn't have to pay over retail for this. I'm so glad I was able to get this for like $40 or $50. Like, all right, last up for this section, I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite pressings that I got this year. This makes me so excited. I'm so excited to talk about these. All right, let's start with one of my favorite albums that came out this year. We have Two Star in the Dream Police by McGee. This is the Urban Outfitters exclusive. I believe it was limited to 1,000 copies, so I'm not sure how I got my hands on it, but I'm grateful that I did. And this is on a white marble pressing. It really gives me like mother of pearl vibes. I mean, it's stunning. Gorgeous pressing for a gorgeous album, you know what I mean? Also stay tuned. Like last year, I'm gonna be doing a 2024 top albums video, my favorite albums of the year. So you might see her again. So stay tuned for that. Next up, this one actually shocked me about how much I liked it. Also, the hype sticker on this one is also f***ed up, so I don't want to hear it. We have Brat by Charlie XCX. This is the Target exclusive, pink and black splatter. Yeah, this is just so much fun. It's neon pink, but it doesn't look too crazy. I think the pink obviously goes well with pink goes well with green. It's so Wicked vibes, which I'm now realizing, but next up, I did already mention this one, but I'm bringing it back because it is gorgeous. We have Chapel Roan's The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. This is the 1-year anniversary edition from Urban Outfitters. Coke Bottle Clear glitter pressing. Coke Bottle Clear and glitter are 2 of my favorite pressings, so the fact that this is combined into one for this album just makes so much sense and I love it. And I've been waiting to get my hands on this, so I actually got 2 copies of this album this year and I don't regret it. All right, last up for my favorite pressings, we have Keen Hopes and Fears, the 20th anniversary edition. This is the limited edition Galaxy Effect vinyl. The cover is like a dark green and then the pressing is like a green marble. It's just so pretty, like look at that. Oh. All right, and then for the last section of this video, I wanted to talk about some 2025 collection goals. First up, I have to continue collecting every variant from both Ariana Grande and Harry Styles. I did some minor calculations, and for Ariana, I'm already 60% of the way through collecting everything from her. Right now I have about 25 records from her, including what I've pre-ordered from like the My Everything and Santa Tell Me drops. And then for Harry, I'm only 35% complete, 6 pressings of his in my collection, and I think right now I have 2 pressings from each album, which is cool. So I don't think I'm gonna go as hard as I did this year with like spending like $500 on one of Harry's pressings, but I definitely want to get my hands on like the standard black of both Harry's House and Fine Line. Those are like easy ones I can get, and then also the yellow Target exclusive Harry's House pressing. And for Ariana, I also need some standard black ones, so I think those will be easy and more affordable ways to continue variant collecting for them. Next up, I have to buy different albums. I want more albums from different artists in my collection. Towards the end of this year, I definitely got laser focused on collecting variants of albums that I already own. Like realistically, I don't need more than 1 variant of an album that I already have, you know, but sometimes it is fun. So I would like to cool it with that, and I want to work on expanding my collection and the different artists I have. I also want to buy more from indie artists. I feel like this year I bought a lot of mainstream artists, which isn't bad. Obviously, I like their music, but supporting small artists is also really great. Buying vinyl from artists is a great way to support them. So I would love to get some more smaller artists, potentially some local artists. I know some record stores near me have like a local vinyl section, so maybe I should check out those. Going along with that, supporting local record stores is always a goal of mine because I love them. I love my local record stores. But yeah, those are kind of my goals for next year. We'll see what actually happens. I can't wait for next year to make this same video and reflect on what I was actually able to do. But this year was definitely insane for the growth of my collection. And I just want to say thank you because truthfully, it's going to sound like I'm just like, I almost said ass. That is not what I meant to say. It's gonna sound like I'm blowing smoke up your ass or not being genuine, but like this would not be possible without you supporting my channel. So thank you so much for that. We just hit 12,000 subscribers and I'm like, what the f? I don't know what the f is going on, but thank you all so much. I love you all. Everyone who comments like consistently on my videos or DMs me on Instagram, like I see it all. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for letting me build my collection and I hope we can continue this little journey together. That's all I have to say. Let me know some of your stats if you know them off the top of your head, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe down below for more videos from me. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later. Bye.